Hi, everyone. My name is Monsignor Thomas Harold here at St. Anne's Parish in Garden City, and we're doing our third in a series of videos that we hope to be doing the whole school year. And behind me, as you can see, are Mrs. Flood, our Director of Faith Formation here at St. Anne's, with 7 of our 6th grade students in our school. And the first video we did was on service, and the second video was on the Beatitudes. And these videos have become so popular that they have gone far and wide, Florida, other places, because these young ladies behind me have done such a great job. Now, if you're watching this video and you would like to be part of the panel, you just let Mrs. Flood know here at St. Anne's. So, welcome, ladies. How are you today? Good. And the first time you speak, I don't want to take too much time. The first time you speak, why don't you just say your first name?
Okay.
So today we're here to talk about, first of all, this is the Thursday before Halloween. So some people are going to watch this video Halloween weekend. Others are going to watch it probably after Halloween. So it's a little tricky, but everyone will know it's they're early or late that they're watching it. But it will be available, I think, this afternoon, Thursday or Friday. So it'll be very timely. For others, it'll be a little late. Because our topic is saints and heaven. Wow. Saints in heaven. That's pretty dramatic. Saints in heaven. But I think that the 3 days, the first day, Halloween, which is October 31st. Anyone know what day follows Halloween?
All Saints Day?
All Saints Day, Riley. And what day follows All Saints Day? Lauren.
All Souls Day?
All Souls Day, beautiful. I think the 3 days are related. Okay? All Saints, Halloween, All Saints, All Souls. In fact, the word Halloween means Hallows Eve, Holy Eve, the night before All Saints Day. Now, do you guys love Halloween?
Yes.
In the past, have you been in costumes for Halloween?
Yes.
Let's hear what your favorite costumes have been. Pass the mic around and hear your favorite costume.
My favorite costume was Thing 1.
Who?
Oh, I was Thing 1 from Dr. Seuss.
Okay, Dr. Seuss.
My favorite was probably when I was a wolf, because this group and some other 6th graders, we did the 3 Little Pigs and the Big Bad Wolf.
Wow. How about you, Alexa?
My favorite costume, I think it was like 2 years ago maybe. I was a witch and the costume came along really good.
Wow. And how about you, Bridget?
I would say my favorite Halloween costume was Thing 2 with Erin.
Okay. Jillian?
I still really like the pigs, the 3 Little Pigs ones.
Uh-huh. Lauren?
In 3rd grade, I was Hannah Montana.
Hannah Montana. Riley?
Mine was in 3rd grade. I was a gumball machine.
Gumbo machine.
Yeah.
Wow. Mrs. Flood, when you were a child, did you like Halloween?
I did.
And do you remember any favorite costume?
I think my favorite costume was one I wore here when my children were in school. I dressed as a Catholic schoolgirl, because I didn't get to go to Catholic school, from Saturday Night Live.
Wow. Now, to show you how I came from a family mostly of boys, we had 1 girl and 6 brothers, and I would have bet, but I'm so wrong, I would have bet one of you would have said, a princess. or a ballerina. You were that once. So, you mentioned all different kind of things. Tell me what you think of this statement. Halloween is all about the make-believe. Halloween is all about the make-believe. Is that true?
Yeah.
Let's hear what you have to say on that. If
People dress up as like other things, and it's not who people like really are.
it's not who people really are, beautiful. Is it fun?
Yes.
Yeah. The make-believe can be fun. Pretending can be fun. But I remember at the end of the day, had a big shopping bag of candies. But at the end of the day, I take my Halloween costume off and put it away. Now, see if you're following. If Halloween is all about the make-believe, All Saints' Day is all about
The real life?
beautiful, real life. All Saints' Day is real. It's not make-believe. It's about real people. Men and women like you and me who became saints. Saints. Do you guys, sixth graders, do you have any? Oh, Saints Parade, right? We just had the Saints Parade. Do you remember your Saints Parade? Let's hear what saint you were. Send the microphone around. Who were you for the Saints Parade?
I was St. Elizabeth of Hungary.
Elizabeth of Hungary. Wow. How come you picked Elizabeth of Hungary?
My sister also did it, and I just really liked her life and what she
Beautiful.
did.
Do you still remember her life?
Yes.
Wow.
I came here in 4th grade, so I wasn't here.
So you weren't here for the Saints Parade. But if you could be in a Saints Parade now, Riley, who would you choose?
I would choose St. Elizabeth Mary's cousin.
St. Elizabeth, Mary's cousin. Beautiful. How about Jillian?
I did St. Helen. I remember that she was the patron saint of the cross.
Wow. What was her name?
St. Helen.
St. Helen. That was my grandmother's name. And you know what? My grandmother Helen, I think she's a saint. Because I think she's in heaven with St. Helen and other people. My grandma Helen. I used to go to breakfast with her on Sunday morning after Mass. How about you, Bridget?
I was St. Bridget,
Oh, surprise, right?
and I don't really remember too much about her. I think she was like the patron saint of like Ireland or something.
Ah, I was going to ask you, Bridget. There's two Bridgets. There's Bridget from Ireland, and there's another Bridget from where? Do you know?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
That's okay. Bridget from Sweden. I always wonder, do the two Bridgets, Sweden and Ireland, I wonder if they get along in heaven. How about you girls?
I was St. Mary.
St. Mary, Mary, the mother of Jesus?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Very holy, right? How about you, Erin?
I was St. Katira Tekakwitha.
Kateri Tekakwitha. Aha. Why is Kateri Tekakwitha so important to us?
Well, her parents died, and right after she came closer to God, and then she got baptized on Easter.
Wow. And she's a martyr, right?
Yeah.
She died for Jesus.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And how about yourself, Alexa?
I was the same as Lauren. I was St. Elizabeth of Hungary.
Elizabeth of Hungary. Wow, very popular saint in the sixth grade. So we have those saints. Like today is the feast of Saint Simon and Jude. Anybody know who Simon and Jude were? They were apostles, Simon and Jude, 2 of the 12 apostles. Now, Mrs. Flood, your children went to school here?
Yes. Yes,
Do you remember any of the saints that they were?
I do.
You do?
One was Saint Bernadette.
St. Bernadette of
One was
Subaru, right?
Yes.
Wow.
One was Saint Elizabeth Ann Seton.
Elizabeth Ann Seton, who was a mother and a religious sister. Real person. She had a bunch of kids, too. I don't know
Yes,
how
she
many
did.
she had.
One was Saint Catherine.
St. Catherine, Catherine of Siena?
Yes, Saint Catherine of Siena. And the last one was Saint Michael the Archangel.
Ah, Michael the Archangel, who's the patron saint of police.
Okay, we're looking
Okay?
at Michael.
And maybe, what?
I said we're looking
So
at
there's
Michael.
a lot of saints, and that's one of the great things we do at St. Anne's. We have a saints parade. I think we had it 2 days ago for the first graders, right? First graders of the saints parade. So we have those saints who celebrate feast days, but All Saints Day, is it celebrating only saints with capital S? Might be a trick question. What do you think?
No?
No, there are some saints with small s. I mentioned one earlier. Who was the saint with a small s that I mentioned earlier?
Was it your grandmother?
My grandma. My grandma. She's not a saint that everybody celebrates, but I know she's a saint. I know she's in heaven. She was a good person. She was my grandma. She used to take me to breakfast after we prayed together on Sunday. We'd go to St. Thomas Church in West Hempstead, and then we used to walk to the Charcoal Ranch, which was a little diner for breakfast. Remember that, Mrs. Flood? Yep. She's in heaven. I got some other people I know in heaven. Do you guys know anybody in heaven? Bridget, you like pretty confident. Go ahead.
My nanny?
Your nanny. That's your grandma?
Yes.
Like my grandma? Do you think there are a lot of grandmas in heaven?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of grandmas in heaven. We're celebrating your nanny and my grandma on All Saints Day, Monday. It's a great day. And she was pretty real, your nanny?
Yes.
What was your favorite quality? What's the favorite quality that you remember in your nanny's life?
Well, I was kind of little, but like when we went to go visit her, I remember her smile on her face.
Her smile on her face. You know, from last week, was that one of her Beatitudes?
Yes.
Yeah, her smile. Wow. Anyone else know any saints in heaven?
Yeah. My pop
Your pop-pop.
which is my grandpa.
Huh?
Which is my grandpa.
Your grandpa. What was the favorite quality of your pop-pop? I used to have a grandfather we called pop-pop too, but I was only 3 years old when he went to heaven.
Me too.
Oh, you too, but
Yeah.
you remember him?
Kind of.
Uh-huh, what do you remember?
I don't really remember anything. I do have like a picture of him feeding me a French fry, and that's kind of all that I remember.
Did you say French fries?
Yeah.
He liked French fries?
Yeah.
You know what I would wonder, Erin? You're Erin.
Yeah.
Erin, do you think they have French fries in heaven?
No.
No? Who else knows somebody in heaven?
I do.
Yes.
My neighbor.
Your neighbor. Wow. Who was your neighbor?
You might know him. It's Jimmy Cody.
Jimmy Cody. How come you think Jimmy Cody's in heaven?
Because he was a firefighter.
A firefighter. So he served other people like we talked about service the other day. Jimmy Cody. Did he live a long life or a shorter life?
In the middle. I think he was like 62.
62. You think 62's in the middle.
Yeah.
Does that mean I'm more than 62? So does that mean I'm old?
No.
No. Okay. Anybody else know? You know somebody in heaven?
Yes, my great aunt Roberta.
Your great aunt Roberta.
I didn't know her, but I know she was good because, my mom, it was my mom's grandma.
Right.
And she loved her. And my aunt Roberta, I could remember her because she also knit and
Wow.
she made like a doll that
Beautiful.
my sister has.
You know, I forget. I was going to say something to you about that, Abby, but it slipped my mind. You mentioned about your great aunt. I'm sorry. I was listening so much I forgot what I wanted to say. Anybody else?
I do.
Yes.
My brother.
Lauren, you have a brother in heaven.
Yes.
Wow. What's his name?
Eddie or Edward.
Edward. Wow. He was a young guy.
Yes.
Yeah. He was older than you or younger?
He would be older than me now.
Older than you. Wow. You know, I just celebrated Mass with your family for your
Yes.
brother, right? How does it make you feel? I know it's always sad when we lose someone we love. It's very, very sad. But now that we're talking about heaven, how does that make you feel?
It makes me happy that he's there and he's enjoying the gift.
Wow. Wow. That's beautiful. And the way you're smiling tells us that you believe. That's great. Eddie. Yep, I know a lot of people loved Eddie. I've heard stories. I wasn't here then. But heaven. We said we're going to talk a little bit about heaven. What do you think of when you hear the word heaven?
Well, I think of all the people who lived a good life by following what Jesus wants us to do, and it's like a place for the afterlife.
Afterlife, right. Let me give you a couple of words, okay? One of those words we use for afterlife starts with E. It's a hard word for a sixth grader. We call it eternity. And then the group of people, the big group of people that we're celebrating on All Saints' Day, you might hear occasionally this phrase, the communion of saints. Have you heard that phrase before? You have? Wow. I don't know where you get all these smart kids, Mrs. Flood. The communion of saints. I'm wondering if we're getting help. The communion of saints. I love the communion of saints. You know, I'm a little older than you guys, so I wonder, I say, and I know a lot, my mom and dad are in heaven, my brother's in heaven, and I say to myself, wow, someday, the communion of saints, I hope to get there. You know, there was a priest, he was the pastor in Corpus Christi. His name was Father Ken Winkler. And he was a young man, he was maybe 55, and he had cancer. And he was very sick. And I went to see him. He was still working in the parish. I went to see him, and he looked like he was pretty sick, like sick people sometimes look very sick. And I said, Ken, how are you doing? He said this. He said, how bad can it be? He said, I'm going to get to see my mom and dad again. That's how he understood. I'm going to get to see my mom and dad again. Wow, that's the communion of saints. That makes some people like unafraid of death. But let's hear a little more about heaven. Anybody?
When I think of heaven, I think of eternal life.
Eternal life, yep. Life forever, right? Anybody else?
When I think of heaven, I think of like being more happier than you are on earth.
Well, I look at you, Riley, and I say to myself, how could anybody be happier than Riley?
Well, right now I'm at about 100 happy. Like you would get very higher.
Say that again?
Like if you're at 100 happy, which I am, I'm always am, you get very higher because you're with God.
You get high in being with God. Is that what I heard?
No.
I have bad ears.
She's at 100% happiness, right? And what she's saying is, when you go to heaven, she would think that you'd be even more than 100%
Yes.
of happiness.
Yes.
Is that
You
what
know
you're
what they
saying,
call,
Riley?
You know what they call, I'm going to give you a fancy word for what they call that. They call it, remember we learned communion of saints, eternal life, the Beatific Vision. Let's say it together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
The Beatific Vision.
The Beatific Vision. Every Catholic learns about the Beatific Vision. It's a vision. Beatific's a little bit like Beatitudes, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's a vision of who? The Beatific Vision is a vision of who?
God and Jesus?
God. God. Somehow we see God. We can't fully understand that, can we? But we can, we kind of can like anticipate it or hope for it. The Beatific Vision, seeing God. That's heaven. Heaven's a mystery. I can't explain heaven to you guys. But we can understand a little bit what Riley is saying. It's like pure joy. Did you want to say something, Lauren, about heaven?
Yeah, I think of meeting God and Jesus and all the saints and everyone who passed away.
Yep, that's heaven. That's the communion. The communion of saints doesn't refer to Holy Communion. The communion of saints means more like the community. Like you have a very nice community here of 6th graders. Okay, you have a community. Well, just imagine that community of all these people in heaven. Are there sometimes disagreements or differences among you guys? Yes, even among the 7? Or those other guys, girls? Even among the 7?
Both. Yeah, both. I mean, we all get along pretty well, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's other people, but I mean, it occasionally happens.
Occasionally. Well, in heaven, all that's God. There's no competing. There's no getting angry. It's the Beatific Vision. Heaven. We need to be excited about heaven. The resurrection, you can't see this on the camera, but you guys can show me where is the resurrection in the church. Beautiful. You're all pointing to that stained glass window. And notice, there's Jesus. You know what I noticed about that stained glass window? The figure of Jesus from where you're sitting, does it look like the brightest figure in the church? That's what it's always seemed like to me. It seems like, I don't know if the artist used the paint that would be brighter. In the morning, it's the sun. But even now, in the afternoon, the flesh color of Jesus, the white garment, the beautiful yellow. But I always get a kick out of who? Look at that picture. Who do you get a kick out of?
The guard sleeping.
The guard sleeping. Here is the greatest event in human history, and this poor guy slept through it. It's like falling asleep in 6th grade math class. Okay? You would get yelled at. Well, no, Jesus didn't yell at him. You know, if you're watching this video, maybe someday you ought to come in and look at the stained glass window of the resurrection. And you know what? We're running out of time. So we're going to come back to that stained glass window. When are we going to come back to that stained glass window later in the year? For what feast?
Easter?
Easter, exactly. Will you join me around Easter?
Yes.
Okay, so we're coming to a close. For the parishioners who watch this video, aren't these girls are absolutely wonderful? And watch them and spread the word. Send this video as far as you want. For the it's the 5th and 6th graders who are going to watch this video. Try to get your family to watch it with you, and just think about whether you're watching it this weekend before Halloween or next week after Halloween and All Souls. This is real. Halloween is pretend. All Saints is real. We didn't get to talk about All Souls Day. That's okay. We'll get there some other time. Okay? You want to wave goodbye?
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening. Okay.